Right, okay. Butlins, Bognor, November 2024. Here we go again. So, as I said in the last video, I'm going to start the video from here because it's quite poignant for me. But actually, it's actually way up there, the other side of the hotel where it actually began. Because, as I mentioned in one of the last videos, they knocked down about 9 rows of chalets to build this hotel. There you go. So my journey began up the other end there, right up the other end of P line. Now this is the other side of P line. It's now called Pelican Terrace, but back in the day it used to be called Pagham Walk. Pagham Walk. So this is the second part of the old Pagham Walk. As I said, my journey began on the other line of chalets, which would have been right up there at the other end, and this is the second part of what is now called Pelican, but as I said, back in the day it was called Pagham. So I want to take you back. We're going to go for a slow walk along the lines of chalets. So I'm going to take you back to 1992, and an old school friend of mine and close friend at the time approached me, and he said, why don't us two go on holiday? And at that point I probably hadn't had a holiday for a few years. I was working in the city and I was probably more concentrated on work than holidays. Anyway, I'm not going to mention his name in respect to him, because we fell out late 90s. He does say it's silly. We fell out in the late 90s, and he recently passed away. Anyway, he approached me. He got married at a very young age, and he got divorced at a very young age. So we was going through a divorce, and he was down in the dumps, and he said to me, look, why don't we go on holiday? He said, you choose. So I thought, okay. Now, for the hell of me, I don't know why, but I said, I want to go to Butlins. Now, I don't know if that was because there was maybe a load of adverts on the telly at the time, load of adverts in the press at the time, I don't know. But for some reason, off the top of my head, I turned around and said, I want to go to Butlins. He said, right, we're going to go to Butlins. So the following weekend, off we went to the local travel agent, which I think was in Lewisham in South London. We went to the travel agent and we booked our holiday for Butlins here in Bognor. So roll forward to the holiday. It's just about to get a bit noisy, but I'll try and whiz through as quick as I can. So whiz through summer 1992, and we came down here and our holiday began. Now we would have had a Saturday to a Saturday holiday, definitely a Saturday to a Saturday. So we got down here, we checked in, we got into our chalet, and that's where the fun began. So very quickly, I'm just going to talk up a little bit, there's a little bit of roadwork noise. very quickly, and probably the first day we checked in, we became friends with a load of girls, a handful of girls who worked here, all on the accommodation side of things. And we become really good friends for years and years later. And the entertainment that week, I can't remember what it was. We obviously had a really good holiday, but it came to the Friday night of that week, and the pair of us were like a couple of little kids because we did not want to go home. We had such a great holiday. We met these lovely girls who worked here, who became friends. There was what, 5, 6, 7 of them, and we just hit it off. We all become really, really good friends. And I remember on the Thursday night, on the Friday night, just before we come home, and we was in a depression. We did not want to go home because we just had a lovely time. And I think we had a fling as well. I think he met a young lady, I met a young lady, and we had a holiday fling, I think, with with a couple of young ladies as well. Anyway, and that's when my journey began. And I think from that point, summertime of 1992, we started having holidays 4-5 times a year. Now my journey continues, obviously, but the pair of us, we started booking up for him quite a few years after 1992. So between 92 and 96, we would book up 4, sometimes even 5 times a year. And that's it. And that's where our journey began, and it's where mine continues. So that decision of mine in 1992, totally off the top of my head, because I wanted a Butlins holiday, just because I wanted a Butlins holiday. And it continues to this day. Now, there's something else I want to touch on, which I mentioned on the last 2 videos, I think, and that's the issue with food and a couple of the dining plans. Now, those of you who are on a couple of Facebook groups of Butlins Bognor would have read that there's been complaint after complaint after complaint about the food, cockroaches and bed bugs, and it's every day virtually. I'm reading these complaints every day, and it ain't good. It ain't no good. The management here and the head office need to get their finger out and sort these issues out. Now, the past 2 occasions, including this holiday, November 2024, we've got self-catering, and it works. So the past 2 holidays, we haven't had a dining plan, but up until probably less than a year ago, I would have religiously had the premium dining plan as norm. Now, the last one we had, we was in the hotel, Ocean Hotel. We're in the Ocean Hotel this time. The last hotel meal plan we had, the food was cold, It just didn't look right. It was cold. It was lukewarm. But I want to take you back. I'm going to turn around and walk back because it'll be quieter in a minute. I want to take you back to just over a year ago. And I was actually by myself. And I had a dining plan. Now, it's supposed to be premium. It's supposed to be a premium dining plan. And I'll just run you through what happened and what I'd done about it and what the conclusion was. So, I was on a 4-day. Remember, this was just touching a year ago, just over a year ago. And I had the premium dining. And I went for my first evening meal, which would have been on Monday afternoon, early evening. And as far as I remember, it was a roast. And I picked the roast and all the trimmings, and I think I had a soup. And it was lukewarm. Everything on the plate was lukewarm. I think the only hot thing was the soup, as far as I remember. So I let it ride. I let it ride because I was tired. It'd been a long day. I've not long checked in. I let it ride. Anyway, Tuesday morning, I went to breakfast. Now, remember, this is supposed to be premium dining. Premium dining. Went to breakfast on the Tuesday morning. And yet again, it wasn't as if I turned up late. I was first in at 8:30. The crowd of us went in at 8:30. You're expecting everything to be hot and fresh. Yet again, lukewarm. Nothing was hot. It was all lukewarm. Now I'm getting the ump. Now I'm getting the moodies on. And I think I ate a sausage, slung it on a plate and walked out. So I thought, right, let's see how this evening's meal go. The evening meal on Tuesday comes around. Yet again, I didn't get there late. It was a 4:30. Got in there, picked whatever I picked, and yet again, it was lukewarm. And I thought, I've got to do something about it. So I went back to my chalet. And as everyone who comes down here knows, in your chalet or in your pack with your key cards, there's a little bit of paper, red paper, if you need to contact us, customer services, what has you not. Now, it's just another quick other whinge. Once upon a time, and up to not that long ago, customer service was 24-hour. There was a little outlet next to the go-karts, up at the side of the up at the side of the go-karts, and it was 24-hour customer service up to not that long ago. But no, there's a phone number. So I phoned it up. I got through straight away, to my surprise. Spoke to a lady, explained what had happened. And she said to me, I need to go back to the restaurant I was allocated. Talk to the duty manager, catering manager of that particular restaurant, and he or she, it was actually a he, will be able to relocate me to another restaurant for the rest of the week. So I thought, right, so went straight back to the restaurant, where I was allocated, opposite Studio 36, one of them. And walked in, asked for the duty manager, and I knew who he was because I seen him running around the past 2 days. I knew exactly who he was. Anyway, he come to the door. Can I help? Explained to him about Monday's evening meal, Tuesday morning's breakfast, that afternoon evening meal on the Tuesday. And I said it's been stone cold every single day. And I said to him, I can't be the only one complaining. No way am I the only one complaining. But he did actually turn around and say to me, oh, you are the only one who's complaining. I thought, yeah, all right. So I said to him exactly what the customer service just said to me, which was, you can relocate me to another restaurant. He proceeded to turn around and say, I have no authority to relocate you to another restaurant. That's got to go through my line manager. My line manager's not here. There's nothing I can do. So I thought, you know what? You know, I kept me calm with him. If I'm honest, I did keep my calm with him. And then I just started talking to him normally, and we started having a civil conversation. And I think he lost himself because halfway through our conversation, and he must have lost himself, halfway through this conversation, he turned around and he said to me, I'm going to be brutally honest with you. And he said, the hot plates in that restaurant of his, what he's in charge of, are very old. And the heat lamps and the hot plates do not work properly. And that was from his own mouth. So I can't remember what I said to that, but it was, oh, okay, fine. And I walked away. From me walking away, I vowed I was not going to go back there for the rest of the week. And for Wednesday's breakfast, Wednesday's afternoon evening meal, Thursday's breakfast, Thursday's afternoon evening meal, Friday morning's breakfast, I went elsewhere. And I think I went into town a couple of times to have breakfast in town. I know a few nice little cafes and restaurants in town. And I think I had breakfast on camp in the pub at one point, which was fine. And that was it. Anyway, when I got home, after that week's holiday, I got home. And it took me a couple of days, but I thought, right, I'm going to stick a complaint in. Now, those of you who have tried putting official complaints in to Butlins, I know it's a bit windy, but I hope you can still hear me. Those of you who've put in complaints to Butlins probably know what an absolute rigmarole it is. It's not easy. You eventually get popped through to a website of a third-party company who deal with the official complaints at Butlins. And they're called Resolver. It's a company called Resolver. And they sent me a form, an online form, and I filled up everything. Conversations had, what happened on the Monday afternoon, on the Tuesday morning, Tuesday night, and I didn't go back, and the conversation I had with this duty catering manager, and I put everything down in writing, submitted the online form, complaints form, and that was it. Now, I'll be honest, I wasn't expecting to get an answer, because they, you know, you can imagine a place like this, a family holiday place, hundreds, if not thousands of complaints each season. And I was convinced I weren't going to get any reply. Here comes Eddie. Hello, Eddie. And about probably about 5 weeks after I submitted this complaints form, one Saturday afternoon, I get a phone call from the Butlins head office at Hemel Hempstead, from office management team, and he said, you know, sorry about you had a bad experience, but I have got your complaint written down in front of me, but could you just run through with me on the phone exactly what happened, including conversations had and all the rest of it. So I went through it with him, word for word, issue by issue, word for word. And at the end of the conversation, there was all the apologies. And he said, as a goodwill gesture, they was going to refund my week's food plan money, which I think was about 68 quid. I can remember I was doing premium, and I think it was about £68, and I had that refunded. Now, that was only because I went through the complaint procedure. So it could be worth anyone who watches this latest video who have had any food issues, which I'm sure you have because of the amount of complaints on social media. It's all been the same, by the way. All the complaints about the food on social media from here at Butlins in Bognor, it's been everything is cold. It's cold, it's lukewarm, it's cold, yeah? So just a bit of encouragement, if any of you have had issues and you have not complained, it's worth doing it. Yes, it's a rigmarole. You've got to go through a third party, this company called Resolver. You can't go to Butlins direct, you've got to go through them. And chances are you're going to get some sort of a refund if you have had issues. So that's it. So that's my little story of how my journey began in 1992 and the few food issues. I did mention as well on the other video that I've actually had issues on 2 occasions maybe of the burgers in Burger King. I've had 2 past year and a half, less than a year. The last one, I think. Yes, I've had issues with the burgers in Burger King. One of them, alarm bells should have started ringing, if I'm honest with you, because I think I ordered a burger all by itself, nothing else. I just ordered a burger, and as soon as I ordered it, it was there. It was sitting in front of me. As soon as I ordered it. There was no prep time, nothing. It was there. And that gave me dodgy guts later on that night. Anyway, I'm just going to pan this round because they have moved, as I predicted on one of the last videos. So they've relocated, or in the process of relocating, another ride. So that's the beginnings of it. there. So I'm just going to walk around the new play area for kids. Now, it's not that big. It looks all right if it keeps the kids occupied. Happy days. I'm just going to give you a quick shot of that, and then I'm just going to walk through the fair to the play experience, which is now open. As you probably saw from the previous videos, they was nearly there but not quite, but it's actually open. It opened quite a few weeks ago now, I believe. I've watched a load of videos on it, what you've got to do, what's in there, what the procedure is. It looks lovely inside, all the all the games, all the neon games and what have you, all look great, fantastic. But it looks a bit of a rigmarole to me, if I'm honest with you. But we have yet to go and suss it out. So I'm just going to pan around to the new little play area for the kids, which has opened up recently, and have a walk through the fairground. So what I'm going to do, this Hollybobs, is I'm going to do an evening walk around, because they've got a load of lights, pretty lights in the trees. They've got a load of lights up in the fairground. All the rides are lit up at night, which look quite impressive. I'll probably get copyrighted there, so I'm going to walk through as quick as I can, or keep trying to talk over it maybe. As I said, I will do an evening walk through around the pathways through here as well, because all everything's lit up. Even the hotel's lit up at night, looks quite impressive, so I'll do that as well. So I'm just going to walk up to the play experience, which is now open. If you've done it and you've used it and you played all the games inside, stick a comment down and just let us know what you thought. Was it worth the wait? Was it worth the money? I can't remember how much it was. Someone did mention a long time ago, but it weren't, you're talking a few mil. So I'm just going to do a 360 of that. I'm going to take you around to the Shoreline Hotel as well, where I don't think I got to last time, but time before I did. And how grotty it looks. I'm just comparing around to the hotel where we're staying. Bosh, there you go. So, the play experience. I haven't been in there yet. It's on our things to do at some point. But as I said, I've watched a load of the promo videos on it, and looks very nice, very colourful, very neon-y. Is that a word? Neon-y? With all the lighting. And we'll go and do an experiment at some point. Find out. I think you got to get tokens or something. Tokens for whatever. So it's big, it's massive, costs a lot of money. So if you have experienced the experience, let us know. Stick it down. Just if you are watching this video and you like it, could you give it a thumbs up? If you give the video a thumbs up and maybe even a share, because it will spread the video out a long way. If you share it, give it a like, that'd be great. All the other ones with the views I've had. Now, I done a walkabout in May, year before last. Not this May, last May before last, 2023 May, and it's sitting on 13,000 views now. I didn't even talk on it, I don't think. I just done a whiz around on it, a walk about, no talking, no nothing, and that that is sitting on 13,000 views. The last two I've done, I think they're both sitting on about 3,000 to 5,000 views, which is great. You know, I'm doing something right. Right, so I'm just going to have a walk up towards the skyline from another route. Take a look at the Shoreline Hotel and just see how grotty it is. You know, I said before, just needs a jet wash, I think. It's really grotty. You're probably really hearing the wind there, but hey ho. And as you probably remember as well, last video I had telephone issues. I had to do a lot of stop start and a lot of editing, but hey ho, we have a new phone, and next summer I'm getting another proper video stroke vlogging camera, so we're going up in the world. And I think last time and time before I mentioned Jack's nightclub, another venue they shouldn't have got rid of and kept. Well, just there, which is obviously the contractor's entrance, office, whatever, is where the old entrance to Jack's nightclub was. And as you can see, it looks like well, they are doing something in there, so that could be something else. But it was Jack's nightclub. They shouldn't have shut it down. Those of you who remember Jack's, I'm sure you had a nice time. So, Shoreline Hotel. This is the end of it, the entrance, and I'm just going to whiz you around the side because I think from the side you can really see how grotty it actually is. And I mentioned this on the video, like right on the end now. I don't know if the camera's picking it out, but it's not my birthday. Oh. Okie dokie. Might want to sing to me, yeah. Anyway. So I'm just going to walk around to the side of the Shoreline Hotel, which is the oldest hotel on camp. It went up when the whole camp had its first revamp in 1998, as I've said 1,000 times. And it's now looking very tired. So I don't know if the camera's picking it up, but it's like really dirty, really grotty, and it just needs a bloody good clean. Also, regarding this hotel, I haven't read anything recently, but not that long ago there was a few complaints about a few of the rooms in the Shoreline, and that was general wear and tear and state of repair. Yeah, I'm a poet and I didn't know it. A few of the rooms, there was some window ledges coming away, carpets coming away. Talking of carpets, God, you got me started now. Yesterday afternoon when we got here, we went straight into the Bar Rosso for a drink, and we went up into the lounge. Those of you who know the lounge at the end of Bar Rosso, I call it, I don't know why, I call it the Love Lounge, because they've got leather seating in there and nice seats and what have you. And it is where we usually end an evening after we've been out at a night's entertainment. It's usually where we end the evening, one last drink. And we actually went in there yesterday afternoon, and we went and sat up on the raised bit in the lounge at Bar Rosso, and my feet, our feet, everyone's feet was sticking to the carpet. And I've looked, and the carpet was absolute rank. It was filthy. It stank. Me and Eddie were walking in and we were sticking to the carpet. Was we not sticking to the carpet?
Yeah, slightly.
And, you know, so you look a bit closer and it was like, okay, these carpets need to be changed or shampooed, whatever. And that's it. Now, I did mention on the other one, there's this little corner bit over here, which has all been tarted up. It's opposite Reds. And I still don't know what it is, because there's little signs at the top, I'll show you in a second, what are still covered up. Still. Now, I have no idea. So you've got a pottery paint in place on the end there. Then you've got something else in the middle. And those of you who are eagle-eyed and remember, in the middle here, where the two signs are covered up, that used to be a cinema. And yet again, why did they take the cinema away? Bring it back. You know, it's a nice little touch. So this little bit here, which is all finished, but all covered up. The signs are covered up, as you can see. What is it? What's it going to be? If you know, if you're staff or your ex-staff of this camp, and you know what this little corner is, or this here, which, as I said, is the old cinema. If you know what it's going to be, let me know. Stick it in the comments. So, I'm going to end the video there for this holiday. As I said, I am going to do a very brief evening walkabout at one point. And I'm going to do, because I've got lots and lots of pretty lights up, so I'm going to do a video of all the pretty lights. So that's it for this holiday at the minute. Hope you enjoyed the video. Have a nice time. Behave. And we'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching. See you later.